Harrison.
Gulshan continuing to try and hone in on that length, and I reckon the discussion maybe in the drinks break could have been to use that bouncer with a little bit more surprise, because the fielders are both out there. It's still definitely a tactic. And maybe we might see one just before the end of the over. But the batters continuing where they left off. Run rate tick over 5. Jersey will be incredibly happy with their start.
Yeah, they've done well. 86 for the loss of no wickets. Done really well. Positive signs. Great to see from the Jersey batters. And they'll be looking to cash in towards off milestones that they can get to.
There it is. There's the short ball. Fielder interested just over the top. Goose gets a 6 for it, but it wasn't without risk. That ends the over. It's 92 for none, and there was the surprise bouncer. Gulshan Jar walks off towards his teammate Bim Sharkey for a little discussion, but he'll be disheartened with how that over ended. He snatches the towel off and steams out towards fine leg. 92 for none.
I think he's more disappointed with the fielding effort. That's been hit really, really hard. There was a fielder out there, and it does look like it was Sandeep who's out there. But, maybe a little bit of a higher jump. It was going in the right direction. Sandeep's waltzed in, left the ball for one of the spectators to go and fetch as he comes up to mark his run-up. Class act.
Well, here we go then. Sandeep Lamichhane. They need a breakthrough here, Nepal. And they brought on their main man to get it. A slip in, mid-wicket. The deep men are mid-wicket and long off and deep point as well. There's also a long on as Lamichhane bowls. Carlisle treats him with respect. Two men approaching their milestones.
Do you want a water?
Lamichhane on the mark again.
Yeah, he started off well, hasn't he? Just a wily run up into the crease, looking to ball into the right areas. I think he'll be wanting to get through his repertoire as much as possible. Experience around the world.
Pushing drive into the covers. And a single well taken. This opening pair have just been so impressive today. Not just in the balls that they've put away, but the balls in which they've found runs from. Lamichhane spins himself a catch. Gouge on strike on 45. Start of dreams this for Jersey. Top edge as it's a powerful cut shot from Gouge. It's going to run away for 4. And that moves him on to 49. So just one run away Not the most convincing shot, but he's got a ball to do it against Sandeep Lamachani.
Yeah, he's batted well. Got a bit of fortune there, thick outside edge. Sandeep will be trying to finish strong here.
Can Lamachani get him on 49? It's a googly. And the umpire sticks to the decision of not out. And Googe survives. He saw it, his eyes lit up at the short ball, didn't he? And he didn't quite pick the googly, and it was a chance, but going down leg and probably height as well. Lamachani ends his first over. It goes for 5, and Jersey, a 97 for none.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much Patrick Googe has faced of Sandeep Lamachani before. Maybe on or something like that. Is that a computer game? What is it nowadays?
God, I went through the Don Bradman era, I think. I remember playing Don Bradman 17. That was a classic game. Just a question about analysis at the associate nation level. How much goes into preparing for a bowler like Sandeep Lamachani? We'll get back to it after this ball as Lalit Rajbanshi returns to the attack. Harrison on 45. Struck on the pad. This is a big call for the umpire. There's a large appeal from Rajbanshi. He was desperate for that wicket. Heavy thud on the front pad. And look close. But yeah, how much analysis do teams do at the associate nation level?
Well, having had experience with 3 different countries now, all with different budgets, of course.
Yes.
You know, in my last job, we had a fantastic analysis coming from India, who very professional in his work, tagged every single delivery, every single ball, brought out strengths and weaknesses, gave real insight information to every batter, every bowler, and allowed the batters to soak up that information. The danger is you over-empower players with the knowledge and they're not quite used to it. Some systems are in place where players will just want it on their phones as something to watch over or refer back to. Some players, as soon as they come off, sit down with the analyst and go, you know, deep into their discussions about why they've been out and what they haven't. I think each to their own, but it's our job as coaches and a management system to provide that information however they want to learn that information and go away and improve the game.
And Carline now just taking a few dot balls. This would be really interesting to see how he closes out this over, Carline. He's not a man that likes to block out deliveries and let pressure build up upon him. He finds a single in the covers. Little chance to the non-striker's end as the ball picks up and hits Lalit in the neck region. But Nepal have just got to remember that that's what a few dots can do. As the wind continues to breeze and throw a few things off our table. Rajbanshi's got 1 delivery left to close out this brilliant over. Googe on 49. 98 for none, Jersey. The bottom edge. Trickles to short third. Now, player on 49. He's had a couple of overs in a row now where he's just faced out the final delivery on 49. And maybe just a small milestone might be building up upon him. End of the over, 98 for none.
Be interesting to see how Nepal can get a breakthrough. They've obviously gone to the most experienced spinner who's had success around the world, bowled to some of the biggest and greatest batters out there and played some of the greatest tournaments out there. Be interesting to see how Sandeep is also going to be utilising his googly as much as possible to the right-handers and how he sets them up.
And there is the googly you mentioned. For a minute, I thought there was a rattle of the stumps, but Carline gets away with it, and he's already showing the challenge that Lamachani possesses in the variation department.
Yeah, and the danger is that Carline hasn't...
Oh, it's happened again.
And that's the point that I'm trying to... If you look at it from a technical point of view, there's too much of a gap between bat and pad here. And he's allowing the googly to come in and attack the stumps. I'd probably want to see more of a full-face attacking shot as opposed to I'm going to sit back and try and cut him, because that's all what the bowler's looking for, is enough space between bat and ball to go on and hit the stumps with a googly.
There's another show of it, and you get the feeling if Lamachani bowls any fuller and Carline continues to rock back all of a sudden, that's going to be a real danger with the ball spinning in with the variation. But Harrison, 4 runs away from a 50. He'll be looking to get there with a boundary, that's for sure. Off the back foot, Harrison Carlisle hesitates for a moment and gets to the non-striker's end for a single. He moves to 47. 46 he will remain on then. So Guj now has 2 balls to get to his 50. He's on 49, matching his shirt number. And the single would also take Jersey to the 100 opening partnership. A punch down the ground, hits the stumps. That would have come off the bat and Guj would have instantly thought it's 50 time. But he's got to remain patient. Lamachani has the tools. Plenty of experience now. Still only 25 years of age. And another little pause as Guj has been on 49 for plenty of time. And he pats it back to Lamachani, who does his job. Leaves Guj on 49. That ends the over. 99 without loss, Jersey. And both batters just got to hold their nerves as they approach the 50 mark. And they continue their brilliant, top quality opening stand.
Yeah, it's been good so far. Very impressed. 20 overs, solid platform. Another tick in the box for the batting unit. 20 overs gone without a loss, as the batting card shows. Harrison on 46 of 66. And Guj stuck on 49 of 54 balls. It's been edging away, trying to get a single away or somewhere, find a gap somewhere or the other. But they've been solid so far, and it's been a real good show and a great comeback from the first game.
Oh, it's a flowing drive. It's just beaten backward point, who was reeling around to try and get there. And it is going to be fielded on the boundary. And there's plenty of applause. And I'm not sure if there is a 50 up, because it was a 3 for Harrison. And he's moved to 49. So plenty of chuckles away in the hospitality tent as the fans have realised both now sit on 49. 100 up, though, for Jersey. That must have been the applause. And Guj pops one back to the bowler. Lalit Rajbanshi has got a task to do. Both batters on 49. A little bit of nerves in the air. He looks to close out this over. And Guj has been on 49 for 4 overs now. And a brilliant stop from Rajbanshi. Continues the wait. Guj has got to remain patient. He has a little scan of the field. Ponders on his next single to reach the half-century mark. And again, the ball grips. So easy, a batter can let the pressure get the better of him. Guj remains focused. Down the track, he's hit it high up into the sky. Fielder out there, he's interested. It's been caught on the boundary. Oh, it's a brilliant piece of work. The most eventful way to get to 50. And a top quality piece of fielding from the Nepal captain. Dipendra Singh Array, you've raved about his fielding, Kaz, and that is an unbelievable piece of work on the boundary. He takes the catch, throws it back over, and he almost had a chance. But the story is Googe gets to 50, Jersey 103 for none, 1 ball left in the over with Harrison Carline on 49. Could Jersey do it in back-to-back balls? He goes back, punches it into the offside, and a slightly less eventful way to reach 50. And he appreciates the crowd, raises his bat, and a fitting way for both these two opening batters who've got Jersey off to the perfect start, get to 50 in consecutive balls, congratulate each other, but they know the job's only half done. 104 for none, Jersey, and an incredible over comes to an end.
What an eventful last 2 balls that was. Everything was on shore there. But obviously from Dipendra's point of view, had a bit of work to do to get to the boundary. Made it a little bit more difficult for him because the ball was going away from him, hit into the wind. But I'm really happy for the 2 batters. They've really showed that there's some great determination to get over that 50 as we see the replay of this effort. And it's almost just, if anything, he's been pulled away from the ball because the ball's going away from him. He's not quite got to the boundary line as high as he would probably want to be to pull it back in. And he's almost pushed it away from him too far.
Two things come to mind then. One of which Jersery was intentionally about 10 yards in from the rope. So it made that job so much more challenging to run backwards, look over your shoulder and still take the catch. And the other thing which is so impressive, which shows me and everyone watching a glimpse of how good his fielding is, was that little scan. He had a brief moment. This one is the googly again, beats Googe on the inside edge. There was a really, really brief moment as he was running back towards the boundary. A split second, he looks at the boundary. Where is the rope? How far can he run back to? And it was just in that split second he was able to judge it with perfection.
Yeah, and he, like I say, he is renowned for his fielding. He is one of the better fielders around in associate cricket, and now going into franchise cricket, he's really made a name for himself.
And this googly is a real challenge for the Jersey batters. Both these 2 opening batters going back early to the googly and just about getting it out each time. Do you think the googly is almost a ball Lamachani will be wanting to flight up slightly more, maybe draw the bat onto the front foot, or is it a pretty common dismissal to lose wickets with googlies pouncing a little bit short?
Sandeep is a bowler who does bowl with a little bit of pace. So you'll kind of see his googly with a lower trajectory coming in. So it's almost like a back of the length delivery. However, it's not quite working at the moment. So you do want to draw the batters in. One of his dismissals on Monday was slightly fuller, beaten through the gate. So I do want to see him just bowl a little bit slower in the air, a little bit fuller. See if you can draw the batters to come in and either hit down the ground or hit over the top and obviously beat them through the gap.
Yeah, well remembered of Jake Dumford falling for 5 on Monday to that Lamachani googly. And he almost walked off in resignation at the quality of the ball.
Yeah, and he's got that quality. Again, the 2 spinners now are starting to put a little bit of pressure back on to the Jersey batters. They've a couple of good overs. It's key now, again, from a captain's point of view, you want to start looking at trying to build some pressure. If you can't find a wicket or there's no obvious mistakes from the batters come in, what you want to do is start putting some pressure on from the bowling perspective to build some dots up. And equally, that's a pressure in itself. Or you want a moment of brilliance from your fielders like we nearly had in the last over.
Would you say that Nepal brought their spin on too late? Yes, they had an early spell from Raj Banshi in the power play. But I wonder if they could have brought on Lamachani straight after the power play. Yes, it's a small fix, but This is a play and a miss from Carline. Look at how he dips down and instantly gets frustrated. Do you think they maybe brought on spin too late, or is it minimal?
Two things. One, he was off the pitch for 7 or 8 overs. So coming up to the 10-over period there, he was actually doing laps in front of us. So he might not have been on the pitch ready to go. But the second thing is, you're right. Maybe straight after the power play is finished, the field is spread. Maybe they could have gone to their fast best premium sort of spin bowler. However, they are here to try to get everybody into the game as often and as much as possible. The second practice game that they've got over here is to try and give everybody a chance to get into the game. So, yeah, maybe the bigger picture is not to instantly take wickets, but trying to get everybody in terms of overs and get the workloads up.
Harrison and Carline just motioning to the dugout for a request at a drink. Top edge on the sweep. It lands safely. Goose had a couple of moments like that where a leading edge is taken. It's been well fielded and they'll get back for a second run. Yeah, I have just noticed that Carline is slightly struggling out there. Just in the last few overs, taking his lid off in between the sets of 6. Both on 53 now, these two. More good batting from Googe. Low risk on drive punch out towards long on. The star fielder does the work. And on comes a drink for the two batters. There's Jersey now sit on Nelson, 104 none, 23 overs gone. At what point do these two look to start to up the ante?
25th over. That's a halfway point. You've got wickets in the 10, and you can see from the two batters they're just getting a little bit fatigue, starting to creep in a little bit. A few mistakes are starting to come in terms of execution. So yeah, I mean, there's something brewing. There's something coming. Either we're going to get a flurry of runs or we're going to get a breakthrough in the wickets.
Goose finds a single. Dangerous man to take on. And Carline, the man who just requested some water, has had to go through his paces. He looks up to the sky, just asking Patrick Googe, why? Why do that to me straight off?
It's the last thing you want, isn't it? Young lad calling you through.
Imagine what a 3 would do to him now. There's a shot of a man who's potentially getting a bit tired. It's a good save from Pandey. And Carline gets back for a 2, getting put through his paces. I can see you did just mention the 25 over mark. I wonder if Carline might start taking it upon himself to bludgeon a few boundaries away. Because Sandeep Lamachani has bowled well. He's used the googly to good effect. A slip moves out to short third. Maybe that's just a little sign to Carline that he could maybe be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, and also a sign that the ball's probably not turning as much for a slip to be in there. As we say that, we see a bit of turn.
I must say, you've made a few unbelievable calls over the last few days, but that one didn't quite land.
So Sandeep's got it wrong, I've got it wrong.
Yeah, blame the bowler. And now a slip comes back in. I think everyone judged that wrong, to be honest. Oh, as the googly so nearly scuttles through onto the stumps. There's a roar from Lamachani in anger. He sets his standards so high, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, and he's been a great servant to Nepal cricket. It's fantastic. Early doors, he was shot onto the limelight very, very, very quickly. Something's brewing here. I can feel it.
Well, there's one ball left to survive for Carlion. If there's something brewing, it might just happen now. Lamachani maybe just lobs one up here. He goes flat, and Jersery with the misfield. It's fielded out in the deep by Lalit Rajbanshi. And that ends the over. Carlion gets a single. He moves to 56 and will keep the strike. 24 overs gone. 115 for none. And so Rajbanshi will continue. Are you motioning that you might want to see a bit of Arish Sheikh come on to the bowling? Is that what you're saying?
He bowled well the other night.
He did bowl well. Took 3 wickets.
Yeah. Bowled well.
And whilst Hemant Dami took the first 4 wickets, Arif took 3 of the next 4.
Yeah.
Including Samarer for a golden duck, Ward for 1, and he got the wicket of one of the 2 men out there. Carlion caught out a deep point.
Unless it could be his turn to rest. I mean, there are some movements happening on the sidelines from the Nepalese guys.
Harrison Carlion has to go. The pressure was built. You felt something was brewing, Kaz. And it was a huge swing down the track. And I think that might just be a moment there from Harrison Carlion, which shows to you that he was just starting to struggle out there. And he goes for a big swing, misses out, and he falls for a very, very well-made 56 from 80 balls. 115 for 1 now, Jersey.
Yeah, I kind of called it, you know. You could see it was starting to come. Something was going to happen. A miscue as he runs down to try and hit that over mid-on, mid-off. Good length delivery, good pace. But overall, a fantastic innings from Harrison as he walks off to a round of applause, both from his teammates, the management, and also the hospitality. Fantastic performance from the opening batter, the number 77 there. As we see a breakthrough from Nepal.
Now, I'd love to see a replay of that because I'm not quite sure from the angle. I was blocked from young Patrick Gouge, whether that was bowled or stumped. Stumped? Let's have a look at it then. Let's make our decision. I think he might have given up to head back here, Carlion. Down the track, missed. Rapid gloves. Bit of a close call for the square leg umpire. Yeah, Carlion's got to go. He made a very, very good 56. He'll be immensely proud of that. And against a good quality lineup, good attack, he stood firm. Hit a few strong boundaries away. But we see the new batter, Nick Greenwood, was the pick of the Jersey bowlers on Monday. See how he does with the bat. And he's had a lot of time to spend with his pads on in the dugout. 24 overs of it. And it does come with its challenges, doesn't it, after an opening stand? Coming in as a number 3. A lot of time sat on the bench waiting to go in. And also with the slight pressure to get going quickly.
Yeah, it doesn't. You know, different batters have different cues and different sort of preparations. Some watch every single delivery, put on some, you know, strain on the mental side of the aspect before they've even got in. Other people like to listen to the music and wait for something to happen and get themselves in. There's other batters who are just constantly fidgeting and constantly walking around and trying to get into the action. Everyone's got their different cues on how they prep up on the sides.
Now, you spent a bit of your playing career both opening and in the middle order with the bat. I personally could never not open batting. how did you go about being able to juggle sitting for a period of time, which could either be one ball or 5 hours?
Yeah. Oh, great question. Great question. Try and stay there as long as possible so it kills the innings down. But I think from my point of view, opening was something that I was manufactured into because we had a position available, and at the time the team that we were playing for, you know, it was something that was asked of me, and I kind of took the responsibility. And then eventually going down to, after a couple of years of opening, going down to sort of one down, where I favoured that position a little bit more. But the key thing for me is, why wouldn't you want to face a new ball, a new challenge, put the team into a really good position? Power play kicks in, fielders' restrictions are in place.
And as we see, a change of wicketkeeper. Now, he's got Hemant Dhami's shirt on. Whether that is actually Hemant Dhami, we'll have to find out for you, because we did struggle a little bit on Monday with 2 number 13s out on the pitch. We'll do our best to let you know who that is. But after a very, very good stumping, Asif Sheikh does depart the field. We'll be having a little bit of a break at the 25 over mark. And Greenwood begins his time facing Lamachani with a confident push into the offside. Greenwood will take a single, even post a breakthrough for Nepal. It continues to be a little bit flat out there in the field. And Jersey batters, it gives them the ability to keep going about their business. Patrick Googe in particular will be targeting 3 figures, that's for sure. 117 for 1 here, Jersey. He's got a mighty problem to solve with Lamachani, who continues to run in. Takes a single into the offside, well fielded by Kushal Patel. This might be me being a little bit harsh here, but do you think it's a slight technical issue? A lot of Lamachani's googlies are tending just to be a fraction short.
He does bowl it quick through the air, and the trajectory wise, he's not one to get over the top of his delivery. As that ball races away past the 45 position on the leg side, tucked in nicely there from Patrick Googe. Again, a googly that's not been effective. Trickle down for 4 runs.
Yeah, misfield there from the fielder at short fine. Lamachani definitely won't be too happy, as the hospitality tent continues to rumble and murmur. And there's the googly again, just slightly short from Lamachani. I would love to see a batter be forced to get on the front foot to the googly. See if Lamachani can really lob a few up there. Maybe he's not getting quite enough purchase to be able to put it up above the eye line with confidence, but I'm sure Lamachani's got something up his sleeve. And that drive pops through the hands of Kushal Patel. The standards in the field have just ever so slightly dropped here for Nepal. They need to keep the pressure up as Jersey get through to 1-2-4 for 1.
Yeah, and interesting point you made there of the fielding standards. A slight contrast difference to what we saw the other night in terms of being efficient, being on it, not making any mistakes in the field. You can just see it didn't help in the first over or so, very early doors. We had the overthrows coming in. The standards have been okay so far, but I'm pretty sure the Nepal management under the watchful eye of Stuart Law would probably just want them boys to be a little bit more clinical in the field. And that's another challenge you have on days like this, where you are bowling first. It's a different challenge. It's a new day. It's a fresh challenge. So you gotta try and tick all the boxes as much as possible.
Now, as we see Kushal Patel, he was doing some warming up with his spin into the glove, into the mitt of Stuart Law on the sidelines, but now he's here, ready to go. Spins himself a catch, and he's in now. And slashed away by the man with the half century. Patrick Gouge gets to the non-strikers as a drag down begins the spell from Patel. Definitely a less breezy day at Grainville. Still, the cloud cover remains. And Greenwood continues to tick along with 1s and 2s. So we just get a still moment in today's weather. Nicer day than we had for the first one day. Gouge goes back, punches up to long off for an extra single. Gouge continues to impress. I wonder if Bertel might just be one of those bowlers. We often see it more in the longer format when a partnership is set. And when a pitch is good for batting, actually a part-time leggy is the kind of bowler that could break a partnership, whether it's with a drag down or a magic delivery, or whether it's a delivery which just might make the batter's eyes light up and think. Personally, I reckon we'll probably wait until about the 37, 35 over mark, which might seem late for you.
Yeah, traditionally teams tend to go around, 32, 30, 35 at the latest. The last 15 overs, last 18 overs, they're trying to capitalise as much as possible, especially in this position. You've got wickets in the 10. They could go earlier if the two set batters were in. But obviously you've got a change up in Nick Greenwood coming in, who's might need a little bit of time into the crease, although he's on 9 off 12. He's done really well since he's been in. But yeah, at some point they're going to have to accelerate. If that 300 mark should definitely be a target for me.
Gouge getting really, really low into his shots off the front foot. It's a good sign of a good player of spin. Movements are quick. Amachani searching for a wicket now. Can he get one on the board? Beautiful shot of Gouge. Rushes through for the first run, even though it's got single written all over it. Such a great sign of a young batter, willing to push for every run.
Yeah, he's looked good, hasn't he? He's looked solid. Solid young batter. Only 23 years of age. Sorry. It looks a quality find for Jersey. He's batted really well. Showed some confidence. He's pulled really well. Looks to really get into his stride here. He's looked good. Game plan against spin has been good so far. He's obviously watchful. Early doors against the seamers. A really good find.
Good glove work from the man who's been subbed on. But yeah, Gooch just looking mature beyond his years at the moment. So Lamachani. Lofts a good length ball just outside the line of off stump. I am enjoying watching Lamachani go about his business and lobbing the odd ball up. He's in class. So there is the Googly again, just a touch short. We'll definitely be looking to pitch that one up, but that ends the over. 129 for 1 as we now see Kushal Patel come back onto the bowling, and I can now deliver you a few stats about his one-day international bowling career. He's bowled exactly 100 overs now, just with the one maiden. Best figures of 4 for 20 coming against the Netherlands. He also has a 4 for 23 against the USA. And the man behind the stumps who has been subbed on for Asif Sheikh at the 25 over mark, we can confirm, is Binod Bandari. Kushal Patel making a few tinkers and changes to his field. Short fine leg comes slightly squarer. DSRA is out at long on. Deep mid wicket 2. Here's Patel. And Googe knocks a single up towards Array. Nepal skipper. Jersey tick over the 130 mark. And Googe into the 60s.
Yeah, and you'd want to get Googe playing as long as possible now. He's obviously been in for 74 deliveries for his 60.
A sweetly timed drive beats the extra cover fielder. Yeah, just from a personal player point of view, he'll be sick. See, would you say that when you've got, let's say you've got a batter set like we have here, it might depend on the batter, but is it up to the man who's set to kick on, or is it up to the players who can come in around him to kick on, or are you looking for positivity from both? Let's come back to after this ball. As Greenwood looks for a 2, Googe is keen, and a slight misfield brings about the second rung. Patel is furious with his man out there. But what would you say? Whose job is it to start kicking on?
It's $1 million question you've just asked me there. I also think it's the intent of where you're playing as well, and what level you're playing at. Obviously, when you get club cricket, you get guys who are coming in and they want to work around the batter who's been in there for a long period of time. They'll end up taking the high risk element and keep the batter who's been in for a while to bat longer so that he can have a little bit of a break and then go on and kick on a little bit later. I think at the higher level game, you'll get the guy who's who's just come in to support as much as possible the guy who's been in for long periods of time, and then when he's ready, they can alternate between the two on who kicks on and who doesn't. But the key thing here is you cannot give your wickets away cheaply. Patrick Googe has done really well, and I'm sure from a personal perspective, they'll want to keep batting out there for as long as period. But from a team perspective as well, the longer he bats, the more runs they're putting onto the board with a guy who's in form and who's been there for long periods.
Well, Jersey still with plenty of firepower to come. The likes of Jonty Jenner, who spoke so well out there at the toss. Looking forward to another challenge. As another one of your calls comes off here. Kaz, you've asked for it, and it's time for the man who took 3 wickets on Monday. Arif Sheikh, for a little bit of those slightly pace off, but off the long run deliveries.
Yeah, and I thought he was really effective on Monday. He did really well. But again, it'll be a different challenge for him here because Team Nepal have only got 1 wicket at the moment. Different conditions. He's bowling to a set batter. It'll be interesting to see what he's going to do and what his plan is here.
Moves through low.
Skiddy bowler.
Yeah, it's quite a bit, but it's a sight we've seen a lot of, as you mentioned earlier today, from that end. The ball just having more of a tendency to shoot through low. Good glove work from Binod. Again, there it is. I wonder if that's just more a sign of the skiddy nature of the bowler or more from the pitch here.
The danger here is that he gets a massive thick edge or a slight nick into the keeper's glove here, playing that shot. The tactic is obviously have the keeper up and trying to get him to play from the crease, skid the ball on as much as possible.
That one picks up as Googe predicted and gets a single out towards Raj Banchu, does the work. Yes, when those flat batted shots come with the extra risk when there is that variable bounce. And it's a shot he really enjoys. Googe using the pace down towards third man and backward point region. The late cuts is a shot he executes well. As there's a sign of a ball just picking up off a back of a length ball.
It's a rare sign from that end, a ball just taking off. A lot of the balls have kept sort of almost waist height, sort of thigh pad height. So that's just a great tick behind the stumps.
And Googe, a young lad, now in the 60s. Different players, obviously, will be thinking about the milestone. And that's it. That feels like a better shot to play on that length with the straight bat, being able to cope with the varying bounce, but that ends the over 135 for 1. Now 30 over mark.
Prediction time.
Let's have a think, Kaz. Jersey, 300 still the target?
Absolutely. I think from this position, 20 overs in, you'd another 165 off 20 overs. You'd like to think they would get there with wickets in the 10. And I think it'll be a really good platform and another tick in the box from the batting department to get up to that 300 mark.
And it it's just worth remembering. Jersey still only have 135 runs. Yes, we're 30 overs in and they've lost the 1 wicket. But if Jersey try and kick on too early and lose a couple of wickets, all of a sudden 135 for 3 or 4 doesn't look quite as convincing. As he cuts confidently down the ground. And I'd say the role for Googe now is just to bat through the 50. Kick on when he's ready, but it's actually up to the other players more to come in and take on the wrist shots, as you mentioned.
Yeah, and almost give him a little bit of a breather for 10 overs and let him go again in the last 10. But he's got to look to stick around as much as possible. Keep rotating strike.
Pulled away nicely, skipping along the boundary. And Nick Greenwood gets the boundary to his name. He moves to 16. And a slight drag down from Kushal Patel as he whips out. I've never seen that. He's pulled almost a string out of his playing bottoms.
I think what you've just seen there is often players cut the trouser so it fits around the ankle a little bit better, and the threading from the ankle of what he's cut out is probably what's quite loose there.
Well, I hope he doesn't have a trousers malfunction.
And we don't want to see that.
No, we don't. Especially a man of his quality. Solid punch through the covers.
Although I do believe he is a bit of a gym buff, so I'm sure his tattoos and his pectoral muscles and everything else, I'm sure he's not as shy of a selfie in front of the mirror. I don't think he'll mind having a malfunction anyway. Shot.
Well played from Googe. Thought about it too. The Jersey batters have been so impressive. Everything you look for in a 50-over innings in terms of the first 30. They put away bad balls. Their running between the wickets has been top class. There's no sign of Googe getting tired out there.
No, they've done really well, and a typical Jersey performance with the bat in the first 30 overs. It's been really good to see against a really quality opposition from Nepal. I think they've done really, really well. They've shown they can have some resilience in coming back from the performance from the other day, but they've also shown that they've played some good cricket shots. They've respected good deliveries. They've played off the bad balls, but they've also looked to rotate the strike, which is quite key at this point, which they didn't do a lot of. I mean, bear in mind, we did lose a lot of wickets, but it's good to see that they're picking up singles inside the ring and rotating strike. And they've capitalised on the short ball and the boundary ball as much as possible.
They just have to hope now, right, that the collapse doesn't come, because the collapse would ruin all the hard work. And if they, I mean, similar to Nepal, where they were on Monday. Again, looking for 2. Googe, good fielding out in the deep. But at the 35th over in Nepal's first innings, they were 172 for 2. And then ended up on 250.
Largely down to a massive shower and change of condition on the pitch, and dare I say, excellent bowling from Jersey, who came out with a real definitive plan. So credit goes to Jersey. Not sure we're going to get quite the same rainfall, and also the condition changing of the pitch. Shot.
Backwards square, but fielder out there, well placed, collects. So I guess my question here now is, excluding the rainfall, there is still the potential there. If they get the next 10 overs or so wrong, Jersey would be incredibly unhappy with a score below 250.
Yeah, you'd like to think that 115 overs takes them to 250 with 5 overs to go.
Okay.
Or little over 5 overs to go, and trying to get up to that. They might have a good spell in there, but 15 overs, 100 runs, it's not unheard of at this level with this amount of wickets. So I would probably say even 100, 120, 130. And with that kind of batting there from that explosion that we've just seen from Patrick Googe there, short ball from Arif, he's tucked into that and it's gone towards the cow corner area. Fantastic cricket shot for 4 runs.
He's done that so well today, hasn't he? The way he's used that pull shot to great effect. And so often the short balls haven't hurried him. It's how he got out on Monday. And almost the fact that Nepal have targeted it has worked to his favour because he is so strong on the back foot.
Yeah, and I've got to question why he's balled short when there's no deep cow corner out there. The only fielder that's deep seems to be just behind square. And in all the pull shots that we've seen so far, bar the swivel pull that's gone behind the fine leg, everything's gone in front of square leg. So you can question the tactic.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a huge amount of real clear planning from the Nepal bowlers as we see Rajbanshi take over. Greenwood queries the prospect of a quick cover single. As Jersey tick over the 150 mark now, 32 overs gone. Single taken this time, putting the fielder under pressure. Causes the fumble in the pickup. Now Patrick Goose sits on 70. Greenwood has done his job to perfection, under the radar, getting up to the 20 mark, seeing himself in after a long opening stand. Great stop from Patel. You can see there's a few fielders out there where the Jersey batters just hesitate that little bit more about the chance of a single.
Yeah, absolutely. And a fine, flying Kushal Bhutal mid-wicket doing the work for the left-arm spinner. Crucial in that area.
Googe has rotated the strike well down the ground. And it's the way he hits gaps with conviction. As a head coach, when you look at a young batter coming through and the key signs which show true potential, how much is it that impresses you around the striking of a ball? Because when Googe has milled it has gone a long way. But what I found so impressive is when he looks for singles, he really, firmly strikes it into a gap. He hits the deep fielder or he'll hit someone in the ring. And as we pause for a drinks break on 153 for 1, how important is that when you're looking for young talent?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some of the key criteria that you want from a batting perspective is players who can rotate the strike, who are game intelligent, so they have an ability to play back foot, front foot off both fast bowlers and spinners, but also who are players who've got a little bit of power, but also the finesse of the touch cricket, so they can find the angles, they can rotate the strike, they can get in between, making really good decisions, and they look to value the wickets. But also some batters who have some acceleration in the plan as well. So these are the criteria that I would be looking for if I'm looking for a young batter. Obviously, a great point for young cricketers out here, it's not always about power. And the lads who've got power sometimes don't have the finesse, the touch cricket, the angles. And the lads who've got finesse don't always have the power. A little bit like Joe Root when he was younger.
And Patrick Gouge, who's been so impressive, sits on 71 off 87 balls. You can see Greenwood there on 20 from 31. Just the one wicket today. Harrison Carlisle falling for 56 from 80 balls. The bowling of Raj Banshi stumped well behind by Asif Sheikh. And that left them 115 for 1 just before the halfway mark. And now Jersey past 150 with 17 overs to go. Let's get your prediction.
Oh, prediction time. 17 overs to go. I'm still looking around the 280, 300 mark. I'm confident on the Jersey batters. They've shown some real skill. But I'm also confident that Nepal aren't just going to rest easy, and they're going to look to show more determined finish, and they will pick up a few wickets. So there will be a little bit of a restriction. I'd love to see them go past 300 and see it really put the pressure back onto the Nepal guys. But I still think that Nepal have got enough quality in the bowling lineup to restrict Jerseys to around about 270, 290, something like that.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think that 280 mark is what they'll aim for. There is the chance that if they go pushing for that 300, that's just around 9 runs per over from here. And if these two batters just go a little bit too early, if they go too soon, all of a sudden, if it doesn't come off, we've got 2 new batters coming out for the last 15 overs.
The danger is that you leave it too late. You've got 7 overs left before the 40th over, which leaves you 60 balls effectively to get them runs. And like you say, if you're losing wickets at a regular basis, you end up falling way shorter than that. You might even get to sort of 240 mark. But you want to see how long Goose can kick in for, and Nick Greenwood supporting him as much as possible. I would love to see a flurry of runs coming through. I think spectators want it, we want it. You know, everybody around the world wants to see a really good score put here. But also from Nepal's point of view, they've really rung the fielders around. The bowlers have come in and everyone's had a bit of a spell. Everyone's got some quality overs in. I'd love to see Sandeep, 6 overs, none for 22. I'd love to see Sandeep coming in and finishing his 10 overs. The 2 fast bowlers will probably be coming back on. So Sampal Kami and Hemant Dami, they'll be looking to come back in and try and get some overs, as will Karan KC. The interesting for me is Lalit, who's gone for 1 for 20, who's the only one who's picked up a wicket here off his 8 overs. Maybe he can bowl out his 10 and really build some confidence up in trying to get his 10 overs. Again, it is a great day out for the boys to get some quality practice in, probably their last practice before they move on to the Netherlands for their Challenge 2 league. Be interesting to see whether they do.
Well, Lalit Rajbanshi, I think, has been a real performer today for Nepal, and he's case forward for a solid spot in this side. And you can see 1 for 20, going at about 2.5 runs and over. And I must say, on Monday, he looked a little bit subdued. Sandeep Lamachani was landing the ball well. He took the wicket off the 2 spinners, and Rajbanshi felt like he couldn't quite get into his spell. And maybe just that short spell with the new ball had helped him get into his rhythm today, and he's looked brilliant. Here's Arif. Lofted drive, it's gone off the outside edge and run down towards third man where Lamachani does the fielding.
We're on the last drinks break. We had a flurry of boundaries straight after. I wonder what we're going to get over here. The one bowler who's not actually had a ball or turned his arm over yet is Dipendra, a darter who bowls very, very quick off spin.
Chance for a run out. Brilliant piece of work from Rohit Padel, the skipper. But again, more good running from the Jersey batters. And I would quite like to see Nandan Yadav get another spell under his belt. He's only bowled 2 overs today. As this is a chance out towards the backward point fielder, who's out on the boundary and ends up taking it well on the bounce. Very, very similar to how Harrison Carlisle got dismissed in the first game. That sort of rash pull shot off the top edge, caught at deep point, but not this time. But yeah, I don't think Nandan Yadav has quite been given the chance to pull off a job he can do well. Greenwood takes the single out into the covers.
Yeah, and the danger is you don't give him any more overs, and he goes into a big tournament having had this experience and this level of outcome. As a captain, maybe even as a head coach, I'd want all my bowlers going into the big tournament fully confident that they can execute the skills. It's not been his 2 overs so far. It looked relatively easy to play, but I would like to sort of maybe just get him in a couple of more overs where he feels more confident leaving the pitch today.
Obviously, it's challenging. You can't please everybody. But is the priority for Nepal for a player like Nandan Yadav or for someone who's low on confidence actually to really give them a solid run out on a day like this? Or, now with the game situation needing a wicket, do you then prioritise that wicket taking? It's a tricky challenge.
It is a very tricky challenge, but also you're in the period of the game now where you're going to have to rely on your resources who are going to close the game out for you in a big tournament. So you can't just keep throwing the ball, to everybody. I think that stage has gone now. Yeah, we're coming up to the last 15, 16 overs of the game where the guys who are bowling at the back end of the games in their major tournament will want to practice their skills and make sure they're right as well. So the fast bowlers in Sampal Kami, Karan Casey, Hemant, these guys will want to be coming back in as they did on the first game, just to sort of close out their skills and make sure that they can do the final preparations in a game situation, which is a different pressure to doing it in a net environment.
Valuable time out on the pitch for both sides here. Raj Banshi bowling his penultimate over of his spell. And the pick of the bowlers so far for Nepal in this slanted approach he has to the crease. Down the track comes Guj. I think he's hit the gap here. Yes, he has. And it's been Sharkey out in the deep who does some nimble work.
Hitting it with into the breeze. Didn't really quite get a hold of it. It was a bit of a clothy sort of toe sound.
Yeah, he's targeting the cow corner area. And Raj Banshi again continuing to prove hard to put away. Kushal Patel out here at long on, I reckon knows he's in the game here, with Jersey batters looking to up the ante. But again, Raj Banshi holds his line and length. The support he's getting from his skipper Rohit at cover, he's very impressed with his left arm spinner.
If there was one area of maybe a little bit of a critical observation, is that maybe they've just allowed the left arm spin to be bowled to them. I would love to see a little bit more aggression coming out, using the crease a little bit more, trying to attack the left arm spinner into out to trying to hit the vacant sort of over extra cover region, trying to hit the deep fielders a bit more often. At the moment, we've seen a lot of balls that have gone into short cover, backward point, gone back to the bowler playing straight. Maybe look to maneuver that a little bit more.
As that ends the 35th, 159 for one. Just building on your point there, Kaz. How challenging is it for a spin bowler when these players of spin can pull out the sweep, pull out the reverse sweep, and it feels like that shot might be what's missing from that spell of Raj Banshi from the batter's perspective.
Yeah, we haven't seen enough creativity against spin. And I think you're 100% right. It's becoming a little bit one-dimensional where you're looking to just punch off the back foot, and it can get you can get stuck with that. There needs to be a little bit more creativity. I'd love to see some sweep shots. I'd love to see some reverse sweeps, come down the track, hit over the top, maybe hit extra cover, over extra cover a little bit more. Not seen enough of that.
Beautiful cut shot. Sweet timing through backward a point by young Googe. He moves to 79. And it has felt a real tactic from these batters to take on the pace and be a little bit more reserved to the spin.
Yeah, a little bit easier picking with the pace, especially at Arif's pace here. Not express. He's looking to bowl more line and length, but there's some width on offer there, and he's just crashed into that.
Here he goes again. But this time, deep point has been brought round. Bim Sharkey doing the work out there. We saw a lot of Nepal boundaries on Monday go through backward a point. And I think what they've done well is they have maintained deep point relatively square. The top edge on a slashing cut is running out towards Lamachani out in the deep. But actually, especially later on the innings, we've seen very few boundaries go through extra cover area, and it's absolutely right to have the deep fielder out in the offside, the sweeper as such, relatively square, maybe even behind square, because of the pace off this wicket.
Yeah, absolutely. And also because of where the ball is being pitched by the bowlers, just slightly back of the length, the cut shots are becoming easier. And the fact that they haven't got a man on point, they've got a guy really behind Kushal, who's sort of in between, sort of deep backward, if you like. And then you've got a point who's also behind, trying to cut out that boundary option. I would love to see a guy on point and a guy at deep backward, just to sort of cut that option out. Half chances are coming in, and they're not hitting them along the ground. They're aerial shots, so they are half chances. Beautiful shot.
More punching off the back foot. Bim Sharkey's had a lot of work out there. He falls slightly awkwardly, but some terrific work out there in the deep. Prevents the boundary. So now as we approach the end of this first innings, with the bowlers likely to come back on and bowl some pace, we do have Sandeep Lamachani doing some warming up. What would you love to see, especially the pace bowlers, when Jersey start coming at them? What do you want to see both the fielding side do plan-wise, and what do you want the pace bowlers to start doing?
I'm actually crying out for some variation.
Yeah,
I would love to see on this pitch. I'm pretty sure the Jersey boys will do this. I would love to see some variation. I know they're going to hold length, which is fine, but I would love to see pace taken off, cutters, wideish Yorkers at a straight line, slow ball bouncers, just really to change the timing gap of the batters. Not seen enough of that. Everything seems to be with pace on at the moment, and I think now being the second day of this pitch, it really requires somebody to just be confident and strong enough to bowl some different variations.
There's the sweep shot. First time we've seen it today. It's gone for 6. And Patrick Googe, for the first time of the day, he tried a reverse sweep earlier on and then seemed to put it away. And it's the one thing you said, wasn't it, Kasim, about how the batters just slightly have let Rajbanshi bowl to him.
Yeah, and the interesting point was that it was slightly flightier, a little bit more slower in the air, so it's allowed him to sort of, and a little bit fuller, which was the key thing here. But boy, did he hit that hard. He's got into a really good position, strong, solid head position going down the line, fast hands coming through, down to up, which has allowed the trajectory to go over the boundary. What a fantastic cricket shot.
I feel like Googe is on a mission here just to slightly ruin Rajbanshi's figures.
Might need a couple more sixes, I reckon, to do that. I would take 1 for 27 of 10.
But yeah, it's felt like a relatively timid first 36 overs, and no team has opted to take control of the game And it means this whole innings, how we look back on it after 50 overs, is going to be completely down to what happens in the last 13.
Yeah, and often you kind of want to build up for the last 12, 13, 14 overs where you've got a really good platform at 176, which Jersey have, and you've got wickets in the 10th, so they've got two major milestones in their favour. It's about now how the lad is on.
An outside edge with a drive across the line. Googe comes back for 2.
I was just saying, Patrick, who's on 86, who now moves to 82 with that 2 to 45 area in the offside. You want to now see him kicking on. He's getting to that 40th over now. You want to see him kicking on now. He's at his time where he's nudged and nerdled around and sort of got some support from Nick Greenwood, who's on 28 or 41. Both of these two guys can now accelerate and leave, 13 overs. I would love to see flurry of runs, maybe get 100 or 13 overs. That would be exciting, wouldn't it?
Well, it's up to these two now to plan ahead. They'll definitely be having these discussions, won't they? They'll be saying, let's get to 40. Or maybe they'll just be thinking, maybe it's time now to kick on. Sampal Kami then. Got a good spell early doors. Just the 3 overs, a short one before Raj Banshi took over. It's a swap of ends for Sampal Kami. And we've seen more success from with the pace over the last few days. And this might almost just now be a sign to the batters. Pace is on. It's the closing stages. Do they take it on now? An absolute cracker. You can't play those.
You can't. Snort them, but you can't play them.
Well, welcome back to the attack, Sampal Kami. That'll give him a huge confidence boost as he runs in from the edge of the ring now. Greenwood gets on top of it well, plays it well into the leg side. And Raj Banshi lets the ball go through. The fans from Nepal are trying to cheer on their team till the end. How I would describe it is a little bit more Jersey support, but a little bit less Nepal support, is how I put it.
Definitely. But the Jersey fans have been fantastic so far. They've really trickled in. Got the beverages of choice in their hand as they find their spot around the ground.
And a real change of dynamic as Kami does come onto the bowling. It's been an educated crowd, isn't it? I always love it when a shot which a proper cricket fan understands and appreciates brings about a ripple of applause.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm pretty sure they've seen some really good days here supporting Jersey over the past few years.
Googe on 88. A milestone on the horizon for this 23-year-old opening batter. But he's also got a bigger job to do, which is take Jersey up towards a total which could be beyond Nepal's sight. In at the stumps from Kami, who's already changed the feeling of this game. And if the Jersey batters were thinking about a wait until a return to pace to then start upping the run rate, Kami is showing that is going to be more challenging than it might seem.
Yeah, he's bowled well, hasn't he? In his first over, in his second spell, he's come back. He's only gone for the 2 singles. Looked to bowl hard length, looked to bowl into the pitch.
Greenwood picks it up. Fielder at deep squares running after it. Couple of bounces and a great stop. He didn't put in the dive, but did exactly what he had to do the work. And it's Arjun Kumal out there who saves the one extra run, and Greenwood gets through to 3. So that's the end of the over. 183 for 1. Just the 12 overs to go now, and 10 runs and over would take them just over the 300 mark. If they get there, it'd be a brilliant result for Jersey. But anything under 275 would feel like they probably could have gone harder.
Yeah, and just proceedings have gone a little bit harder with the main man, Sandeep Lemachani, coming on from the pavilion end. Did get a bit of success the other night from this end. Be interesting to see how well the Jersey batters look to combat the googly from this end, hitting into the wind, which me personally, I would have liked to have seen him start from this end. But I definitely think it's going to be an exciting last 12 if they're going to get up to that 300 mark.
Sweep shot, top edge. Sharky's in the game. Brilliant diving catch. Judged it to perfection. And Nick Greenwood knew it was approaching the time where he'd have to start cracking on. And he opted to take on the first ball from Lamashani, who ends up having the last laugh. He gets his first wicket of the day. Nick Greenwood has to go for a well-made 32 from 44. Jersey now 183 for 2. And now, Jersey have got an interesting task ahead.
They have, and I just called it just literally seconds before. I always thought coming on from this side, Sandeep would have been in a better position. Obviously, batters hitting into the wind. He's got some excellent fielders out there. Bim has done the hard work there to really support his bowler. But I always thought it's going to be an interesting last 12 overs now with the main man himself coming on. Got a new batter approaching.
Here comes Zach Tribe. And maybe, just maybe, do you think we're getting signs that it is quite a hard pitch to click up, really start to get aggressive on? Do you think that maybe the two-pace aspect of this pitch is making it a little bit challenging?
Possibly, and which is why I'm asking for more variations for the fast bowlers. Not just about going to hard length.
Yep.
So that you can see it's two-pace. You can see, the signs are there that it's difficult, that the ball isn't always coming onto the pitch. But you can also see that, giving different variations, giving different opportunities for the bowlers to bowl different lengths, but also bringing on some different variations to help change the context of the timing element really does help. And it makes it harder for the batters to score their runs. So I don't think they've gone early enough in my perspective.
And now it's time for Zach Tribe to settle into his innings. And it's going to just be a case of how long will it take for him to be able to get into a position to kick on. But there's still time left in this game. Flowing drive, played and missed.
Big leg spinner there from Sandeep Lemachani. He's got the ability to turn the ball both sides past the edge. And he'll just be weighing up a tactical plan against Zach Tribe here. We're trying to set him up for his googly.
Googe running to the danger end. Gets home safely. I'm a big fan of how Lamachani approaches the crease. You get some spinners that really amble up slowly. Lamachani gets to the wicket with pace. The spinner really gets pace behind the ball.
Yeah, and again, a little bit of a learning point here. Coaching tip for young spinners who are trying to get into the game. Leg spin is never easy, so you're always going to go for runs, so you have to be patient. The other things you can affect from a leg spin point of view is your approach, is the energy at the crease, is how quickly you get on off the back foot into the front foot, the energy going into your delivery. Your release points always are affected by, you know, where you are at the crease, at the release element. But it also allows you to get through the action quicker, which means your trajectory at this level, white ball cricket, it's not test match where you can float it up a little bit more.
Now Sompal Kami. Ramp attempt from Googe. The shot's on with short fine leg in the circle. Now he's in the 90s. He's really going to be thinking whether he can start to push on during this period. Under 11 overs to go. Pulled high, top edge. Lamachani running in, ends up receiving it. Just on the half volley, almost in at his chest. But Googe showing signs that he's willing to crack on regardless of the looming milestone. Selfless batting.
Yeah, wide, short delivery, tucked into that. But again, he's hitting into the wind. Lamachani not quite getting there as quickly as the bowler would have liked. Half a chance going up in the air, caught it off the one bounce.
Zach Tribe looks so calm out there. So calm. He knows he's got time. He knows it would be a poor decision just to instantly start playing with ultra aggression when there is this much time left. It's a real balanced Jersey have got a strike hit. They're approaching the 200 mark, still 2 wickets down. We're 3 balls away from the 10 overs to go point. Back of a length, just picked up with a little bit extra bounce from Sompal Kami. And this man's going to be an extra challenge for the Jersey batters. Only gone for 14 runs from his 28 balls. Wow. Brilliant shot from Tribe. And it's gone all the way. Pounced on the short pitch ball from Sompal Kami, trusted the deck, and clubbed it away for 6 runs, sorry.
Yeah, contrast difference for the ball before. Obviously, the ball before was a little bit shorter with a bit more pace, a little bit more height, sort of helmet height. Whereas this one hasn't really got up. Has allowed Zach Tribe to pull the ball towards the cow corner. And he did get a large chunk of it out the middle of the bat. Sailed over for another 6 in this game. Fantastic batting, and maybe that's a sign.
Good length from Kami, and Tribe treating it with respect. There ends the 40th over. Jersey in a good position. 8 short of the 200 mark, 192 for 2, 10 overs to go. They'll be looking to go in total for these last 10. If they can get them away for 100 and get to 290, that'd be an excellent result.
Yeah, it will be. 60 balls. You'd want to say that We're going to try and target around the 75 run mark. Kind of gets you up to that 260, 270 mark. If they can have a decent over where they can get a 15 or a 20, 280, 285, 290 is on. But again, Sandeep's still got another 3 overs left. I think 2 after this one.
It's very easy, isn't it, to say 100 from the last 10 overs, but when you've got bowlers of Lamachani's calibre, as you mentioned, with 3 of those 10 left to go, makes the ordeal a little bit more challenging. This looks like buys. Gouge goes for a big swing. Almost called him Goujon there. I'm getting hungry, Kaz. We're approaching the break, which comes at 2:30. It's a fixed point in time, so if the 50 overs isn't done by that point, then a break will be taken. Zach Tribe really getting his front foot out to the ball, get through to a good single there, do Jersey. Thumbs up from Gouge. Zach Tribe is certainly a player who can bat at a good rate and seal an innings. I'm thinking of his not out 54 in the final of the sub-regional European qualifiers. Reverse sweep goes just over backward point. So Gouge moves to 95 with an unorthodox stroke. He manages to get away with it, but don't let that take away the brilliance of the timing. 198 for 2 now, Jersey.
Excellent cricket shot, and something we called out a little bit earlier on. Be inventive against the spin. We saw a conventional slug sweep out towards the leg side earlier on from Gouge, 6 runs, and now we've seen something even more brilliant to get it out to the offside.
Down the track, could this be the moment? The fielder's in the question. Sharkey takes the catch. The gorgeous innings comes to an end. He gets a shake of the hands with Lamachani, the bowler. And Patrick Gouge falls 5 runs short from a maiden international ton. He can't quite believe it, but he was doing the task for the team. He wanted to up the ante. There was 10 overs to go. And he wanted to do the job that his team so desperately needed him to, which was up the run rate. Now as he walks off to a standing ovation here at Grainville. Appreciates the crowd, takes off his lid. And a brilliant innings of 95 comes to an end. And he's put Jersey into a terrific position to go on and claim the last 10 overs.
Yeah, absolutely. And credit goes to the young man, 23 years of age. 95 off 110 balls, fantastic striking. If anything, he's just got under it too early. Hitting into, obviously, the breeze. Fielders out in the deep. I always said Sandeep coming on from this end is going to be a little bit more challenging. If anything, I would probably have liked to see him gone out, inside out, probably try and target the offside a little bit more. But credit where credit's due. What a fantastic innings. And really put a platform up for Jersey.
Now it's up to the middle order. It'd be good after this over just to get your thoughts on how difficult it is for middle order batters in white ball games to come in with the pressure of needing to score quickly early on in your innings.
Well, judging by that first ball, Jonty's definitely not leaving that one, is he? After his little experience on Monday, he's made sure he's hit the middle of the bat. But yeah, I mean, the danger is that middle order batsmen come in and it's hard for them to get into this wicket. As coaches, we always say that if you're in, go on and get a daddy 100, go on and get a big 100, go on and get a big score, and get players working around you. What's actually happened now is relatively you've got 2 new batters in at the crease in a time where the team needs to kick on, and they need a bit of an acceleration. So they're going to have to do this quite quickly and then look to sort of really get over as we see the 41st over complete and Jersey get over to 201 for the loss of 3 wickets.
Yep, just over the 200 mark, and a man that I've been asking to give an extra go to. Nandan Yadav, after a couple of overs, went for 14. He was having a tricky time bowling the short ball ploy, which isn't really his style. And now he's got a chance here to take a couple of wickets and really start to pile the pressure on Jersey. That one swings into Jonty Jenner. A good delivery from Yadav. Well backed up. And with 9 overs to go, you've got to feel again just to come back to the target Jersey want to set. 290 would be a very good result.
Yeah, it would be an excellent result. I'm slightly curious as to Sampal bowling 1 over from that end and then coming back off again. I'm not sure what the thought process was there.
I think he might have had 2, maybe 3. I think it's because it was tricky because it was split by the drinks break. I think it might have been shown to just almost as if it didn't look like he bowled quite as many. But yeah, you're right. It's a very short spell for Cammy. There's been a couple of those for him today. A couple of short, sharp spells where he's maintained pace. That Tribe dropping it into the offside. He knows his role here. He's just going to try and keep the scoreboard ticking. I reckon Tribe will try and be there at the end and players are going to come in and play around him. But he's also shown that he's got the ability to hit the big shot.
I think at this stage, every batter who's coming in, they've got a big shot in them. A boundary ball in them, ability to accelerate. So the key thing is finding the right ball as often as possible in order to manufacture a boundary option.
Back of a length has just come off the glove. And it's run away down to third man. I'm pleased I got my fielding on camera there. Good work from the man over at deep cover. I was a little bit worried. You see I pulled out the long barrier there? I almost ripped my trousers.
I heard a noise. I wasn't quite sure what it was, but I think you got assisted by the boundary rope nicely.
I was worried for a minute. I've got a bit of a story actually. I've got a scar on my face actually, just above my lip, and it came from hockey, and I wasn't actually playing. I was a spectator.
The plot thickens.
Slashing cut shot. Brilliant from Jonty Jenner. He threw the hands at a wide short one from Nandan Yadav and gets 4. Jersey moved to 211 for 3. And this over's gone for 10 already. And yes, I was actually watching my brother at the time. And at some Astro hockey pitches, you get a thin walkway of concrete around the Astro, which is about probably a centimetre raised from the Astro, like a curb. And I went to put my foot out. It was really coming at some pace and hit the curb. Somehow didn't break any of my teeth, but it's giving me a scar between nose and mouth. Jonty Jenner tries a cute cut down towards
it sounds like not only a physical scar, but a mental scar as well.
I've never gone to watch hockey since.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
That's why I'm here, really. So whenever I'm watching any game of sport, I always feel a little bit like I'm fine when playing. I'll dive around everywhere, but it's just when I'm watching, I'm not willing to take the embarrassment again of having to go to hospital from being a spectator.
I noticed how you didn't quite get to the boundary rope. You're well away from the boundary rope, but you went down really well.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Nimble. Did you not expect it?
I just thought you were going to flick it up with your suede shoes on and send it back. I wasn't expecting a long barrier to come out, that's for sure.
Oh, you've got to do it technically right. You see, I was on camera there. I'm not gonna show off the wrong skills. That ends the 42nd over 212 for 3.
I would love to see a repeat of this long barrier.
I thought you were going to say you wanted to see a repeat of me getting hit in the face with a
No.
hockey ball. I didn't know. I was worried how to take that. You want to see the long barrier, do you?
I'd love to see that. I'm sure the spectators around the world would love to see that as well. We can analyze
Oh,
it.
no, here we go.
Very good. I was just trying to get a bigger split in the trousers.
No, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. You see how I just really got my head in line with that back thigh there for the perfect long barrier. I'm doing your job here, Kaz.
Doing well. You're doing well.
Cut away with power. It's beat the fielder, so it's going to take some stopping. It's good work out there in the deep. And it will just be a single. Shows how well Kumal covered the ground at deep cover.
Misfield from Captain Roy there, number 17.
I'll tell you what he needed to do, Kaz. Needed a long barrier, didn't he? All the way. This is a chance. Oh! Beat him on the half volley. Isham Pandey. He's gone for the dive. It's the point in the game where a wicket would be so important to try and limit Jersey to a lower total, and he's gone after it. And that's the risk you can take with those ones.
In my opinion, he's made an absolute meal out of it. He didn't really run in as quick as I would probably have liked. Half an attempt of a dive, and it's fallen just short of it. And so, yeah, maybe a little bit more intensity in the field from Ishan could have made a difference there.
Be careful, he's not far away, Kaz.
Good critical feedback.
Yeah, indeed. Maybe if he went out there with a little bit more aggression, he could have got the challenging chance there. And Tribe tries to carve it away through backward a point. Good diving stop. It's a nice brisk day here at Grainville. Not too warm, not too cold. Gentle breeze across the ground. But when the sun does get out, it can be a little bit hot out in there in the sunshine. But a good day for cricket. A good day for a tussle between bat and ball, which is what we're seeing here.
Yeah, and two good teams on shore here. Jersey, the home side. Obviously, the crowd coming out in their numbers to support the home team, and also the visiting team for this DFDS Summer Series. Nepal with some quality cricketers fresh off the experience of the T20 World Cup, where they have really put themselves on the map across the global stage. They've done really well.
They certainly have, and Jersey remaining resolute as they look to push past the 250, 275, 290, maybe even knock on the 300 door.
7 overs, 83 required to get to the 300 mark. Takes some doing with relatively two new batters in at the crease. But with pace on, could be an interesting choice.
There's some good running and potential of a third. He could bring about a chance. Good running, though. Zach Tribe, alert enough to take the third run after the ball hits the stumps of the non-strikers. 220 for 3 now.
And a change up in the delivery. That was a slow ball. You can see how the batters miscued that, and I think on this surface they haven't done it for long periods. They haven't done it enough. Almost made it too easy by bowling pace on with width on offer.
Try backing away, can't get a hold of it, and it's this point, isn't it? Over 43, 7 overs to go, still got 7 wickets in hand, and this is the time to go, which is what we're seeing now from the 2 batters. Some big swings and well, brilliant run between the wickets.
Yeah, and I don't mind that at all from the 2 batters. They've got themselves relatively in. They're seeing it now really well. Zach Trabb on 13 off his 16. Jonty Jenner 17 off 9 balls. Nandan Yadav coming in for his 3rd delivery off his 4th over.
Finally played. It's coming down again. I might have to put up the long barrier, but no, Sandeep Lamichhani's going to do it for me. And it's just a couple more runs. 2, 2, 2, 3. And they're playing it well, these 2. Again, they've got set quickly, which is so crucial for the middle order batters. Look at that from Jonty Jenner, 17 off 9. Hasn't needed any time to score with pace. Zach Tribe, slightly different approach. But there's definitely going to be some big swings to come. You know, I'm going to say it now. Jersey to get past 300. That's what I'm going to say. Oh, this is almost bold there, Zach Tribe. Is that a bold call, 300?
Confident prediction, that, Charlie. And I don't mind that at all. And it's definitely doable. The danger is that you continuously get wickets. I mean, if these 2 are in, yeah, for sure.
And it's definitely going to be a part in the game. But you can't take your eyes off the screen. 4 more. Well-timed pull shot from Zach Tribe, just helping it on its way. He hasn't tried to bludgeon it to the boundary, more help it on its way. And it's going to be 4 more, moving Jersey to 226 now.
Again, question around the pace of the delivery at the back end of the game. Yeah, actually helping the batters on to try and hit the ball to the boundary by putting pace on. Just not sure they've switched onto that as quickly as possible.
And then Yadav still got a point to prove today. It's been expensive in his spell so far. Can he take a wicket? And it's a dot ball to end. 9 runs from the over. 226 for 3, Jersey. And you just motion there, Kaz. Let's have a look at the batters left to come. We've got Charlie Brennan, who made a brilliant half-century in challenging circumstances for Jersey on Monday. Julius Samaroa, yes, he made a golden duck on Monday. However, he's got long levers. He can hit a long ball. Benjamin Ward. Blom P as well. He wasn't here on Monday. He's going to come in for the first time. He'll be at number 9. Scott Van Breeder, also not here on Monday. He's at number 10. And Jake Dunford down at number 11. So the man who made 41, Daniel Birrell, not in the batting 11. A firm drive. Brings an outside edge from Jonty Jenner. It's safe, though. It's a short third. And Lamichhani is doing excellent work. And it's almost expected of the great bowler. Reverse sweep. Mistimed. Chance for a run out again. It's a direct hit. An umpire shakes his head, and they're going to get through to some overthrows. Again, more alert running. The Jersey teammates are applauding that with plenty of applause. Lamachani approaches. Short, pounced on. 6 more for Jonty Jenner. Skips up the ramp and away for 6. He pounced on short length early from Lamachani and puts it away. 234 for 3 now. 300 on the horizon.
Fantastic cricket shot from Jonty Jenner, who moves on to 25 of 12 balls. I've got a feeling he's the guy who Jersey might be looking to try and really get a quick fire 50 maybe off 25, 30 balls.
That'd be big.
Yeah, and you need a 1 or 2 batters like that who can strike at 150, 170, 180, 200 just to get you over sort of the 300 mark.
With these two playing the perfect middle order role. The tricky task of getting started quickly. They're doing well. Zach Tribe more of a rotational player at the minute, and Jonty Jenner putting balls away to the boundary. This is going to land safely beyond the bowler's arm. And Karan gets in with a good throw, but Jonty Jenner's back for 2. So 2-3-7 for 3 now. 1 ball left in Lamachani's 10. 2 for 48. He's bowled well, and batters have played him well. And a single to end out his spell with an over that goes for 12. 2 for 49 from Lamachani's 10. How do you reckon he'll feel after that performance?
Yeah, fantastic 10 overs. I don't mind him leaking a few runs. I think he's done really well. He's picked up the 2 wickets bowling from the right end. Probably could have started from this end as well. But overall, just slowed the run rate down. The acceleration has been slowed down from Jersey's perspective, and I think he's done really, really well. Got to back up his bowling now for the last 5 overs inside the boundary rope, fielding down at 3rd man over here. But he's done really, really well.
Hemant Dami. The strike bowler from game 1. Can he strike in game 2? Helped on its way. Brilliant shot. Gets down on one knee, Zach Tribe, and whips it over his shoulder for 4. Such a talented shot that from Zach Tribe. And Hemant Dami's straight back onto the bowling, and he's been put away for 4 first up.
I'm sure his brothers watching eagerly from outside, applauding the innovation that's come from that shot. It's a cracking, cricketing shot as we have a change in the field. Sandeep coming in into short 3rd man.
Short ball, and Zach Tribe might have just hit the gap again. Back-to-back boundaries. Jersey to 246 for 3. And bringing back a lovely cheer from this crowd here at Grainville.
I think this is the over where I think you're looking at that 15 to 20 mark. If you can get that over the line here, that's going to really push on Jersey now to that 300 mark. But you, as a team, you're always looking for one bowler to come on who can give you a little bit of pace towards the back end, which these two deliveries have definitely been. But also where you can get a 15, maybe a 20 injection into the run setting period.
Slower ball, clubbed over cover. And you could tell that was going to happen just because of third man and fine leg coming in the circle. It was time maybe for Downing to take off a bit of pace, and Zach Tribes read it well. He's hit it over cover for 4, and it's the 250 up for Jersey, 3 4s in a row. Welcome back, Haman Downing.
12 already off this over. Got another 3 balls to go. Lots of discussion going on here from captain. Sampal Kame also coming to consult in terms of what needs to be done. Got a change of field. Lots of discussions happening with the bowler. Nandan Yadav also chipping in with a bit of advice. I'm not sure what he's going to offer there, having gone for 40 odd himself. But it'll be interesting to see what the game plan is here, because this could be that over where you get the 15-20, already 12 off the 3 balls.
Can Zach try and make him pay again? Runs it away down to third. Great diving stop from Lamachani. That feels like a big moment.
It was like a huge moment. Huge moment. 13 runs off so far. An inch either side, I think a little bit to the left. That would have gone for 4 as well. It's done really well there as Sandeep Lamachani there, who's now been asked to go back down to third man position with mid-off coming up.
Slapped up to long on by Jenner. Thoughts about the 2, but just a single with 1 ball left in the over. Do you feel like this is again feels a harsh point, but with 14 from it, does this feel like a ball to try and make it 20, or does it feel like a ball just to get out of the over and with a
No, 100%. Make it 20. Absolutely.
Well, the intent was there, but it will just be a single.
So 15 off this over. I think he's just slightly missed out, but credit to the bowler after the first 3 balls to come back for 3 singles to finish off that over. He was under some severe pressure in the first 3 balls. And it just goes to show how vital and valuable that stop from Sandeep at short third man. He's thrown out the left claw. Seems to have stopped the run flow as we have another change of bowling from the pavilion end with Sandeep completing his 10 overs. Karan KC will be coming on 253 for 3 or 46 overs. Where's your predictions? Are we still on?
Still on 300.
Still on the 300 mark?
Still there. So just a quick recap as we go into the final 4 overs. Jersey had a brilliant first wicket stand of 115 before Carline fell on 56. Top quality opening partnership. Second wicket was in the 39th over. Greenwood falling for 32 from 45, and then it was the main man, Patrick Googe, who fell for 110 ball, 95. Just 5 runs short of that maiden international ton for his nation. And now we get to the current moment in time. 4 overs to go. Jersey, 147. Here's Karan. The drive is mistimed up towards long on. Jenner's thinking about the 2, but Zach Tribe understands. There'll only be a 1 there. 2-5-4 for 3.
Good start from Karan. At this stage, singles is fine. Just want to limit the boundary options as much as possible. It's been an excellent display of batting from the Jersey boys. 254 for 3.
Karan KC cleared up the tail on Monday. Huge swing. Fielder interested. Gone. Solid take out a deep backward point. Jonty Jenner, a fiery cameo comes to an end. 27 off 15 balls he made, doing his job for the team. But now, with 23 balls left in this innings, it's going to be up to Charlie Brennan to propel Jersey to a competitive total.
And the added factor of the left and right hand combination coming in. Fantastic innings there from Jonty Jenner, who's done exactly what the team required. Don't mind the intent being shown there. Was looking at the vacant area just at the backward point region, but unfortunately found the fielder out in the deep. But once again, Karan Casey comes on and strikes towards the back end.
Again, for youngsters,
breaking the partnership.
Your bowler up with at least 2-3 deliveries. Try and get them in the right false sense of security in terms of what they're trying to do.
So Karan Casey
the surprise package
is now in the wickets as Jonty Jenner gets out with that slashing cut shot. It's up to left-hander Charlie Brennan to get Jersey over the line in the closing stages of the second one-dayer. Nice start from Charlie Brennan. The whip of the wrist, sign of a man in form. Here's a question for you. One for those at home as well. What do you reckon is the current percentages for chances to win?
Current percentages for the chance to win.
Yes, it's quite a tricky point in the game, isn't it, to answer this question? But
yeah, I think 20 overs too early to ask this game.
It's because it's too tricky.
At this current stage, yeah, I would definitely have Jersey. Almost your 70-30, 60-40 maybe.
Yeah.
But then with the large support coming from India and Nepal, I'm sure they only see one winner, regardless of what Jersey go and get. I'm sitting on the fence there a little bit. I don't know if that's answered your question, but am I right?
It's about the 50-50 mark,
So
which I think shows how well Jersey have done to get to that 50-50 mark. You're not far away there, Kaz. Swatted towards cow corner, entering the deep pocket where it's retrieved. A couple more runs. And I reckon if this ball goes for a boundary, it'd be a huge boost for Jersey and a kick in the teeth in Nepal. It feels like that over, doesn't it? A wicket's gone from it. It's been great pressure building. 1 wicket, 1-2-2. If this ball goes for a boundary, it's going to be a big momentum swing, I feel.
pressure ball this.
Zach Tribe, the man in form on strike.
I balled. Oh,
that would have been out. It looked as if Zach Tribe last minute had to jump around the bowler.
And a great bit of sportsmanship there from Karan Casey, fist pumping Zach Tribe there, who's probably acknowledged the fact that he's had to jump around him to get in under pressure. Quality bit of sportsmanship there.
So the fourth wicket falling in the 47th over. Johnson Jenner falling for a well-made 27. And with 3 overs to go, 18 balls. Yes, 40 feels like a big ask, but with Zach Tribe on strike, Charlie Brennan in form, it's definitely on the cards.
40 off 18 in any practice situation, you'd take that on. You'd give it a go.
I'm just thinking, if let's say 300 was the total Jersey were chasing, and they were 4 down, and they needed 41 to win off 3 overs. Good length ball, hits the fielder though. It would obviously be more challenging because of the chase mentality, but definitely be on the cards.
Yeah, 100%. You'd expect anybody who's got 4 wickets down and 40 chasing. You'd want to show the intent to win the game and really go out there and make a name for yourself. 100%. Old.
Try backs away, runs up towards long off. So we're approaching the 2:30 mark. Just 4 minutes away. I reckon they'll look to try and finish out these 50 overs, I reckon. But we'll see. What's impressed you about this death bowling from Nepal? What have they done well so far?
It's the first Yorker we've seen from that end, and I've been calling it for a while. They've got to change it up as much as possible, and they have. Karen Casey, the over before, has been impressive. I just don't think you can bowl length now on a wicket that's offering so much to the batters with pace. Got to take pace off, especially to the likes of Zach Tribe, who's moved to 43 very, very quickly off 33 balls. You just can't give him pace on at this last stages of the game. I think Karen's done perfectly well in the over before, where he's looked to sort of bowl block ball, and these are really big balls for the context of the game.
Wide Yorker, brilliantly bowled. Brennan backing away to try and make room over the offside. And Nandan Yadav executed his plan perfectly. This feels better from Yadav, doesn't it? He's got a plan. He knows what he's trying to bowl here, and it's coming off for him.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I would want to see from fast bowlers coming in the back end of the game, is to go to the T20 sort of skill set and try and execute that, as opposed to just trying to keep hitting length with pace. You can't afford to do that in today's game. The world of cricket has evolved so much.
Brennan shaped up to that over mid-wicket for 6, but he only gets a single for it. Plenty of cricketing discussion going on from the boundary bar just to our left here at the pavilion end. And 2 balls left in this over, and it's been a top quality one so far. Just the 2 runs from it from Nandan Yadav, who's received a little bit of, well, at points he's been what felt like hit out of the attack. His first spell only lasting 2 overs, going for 14. Zach Tribe, deftly played, brilliant shot. That's a shot he's played so well. So many runs he's got through backward point. Just using the pace rather than trying to hit it away with force. 2-6-6 for 4 now.
Yeah, quality timing there from Zach Tribe there. 47 of 34 balls. He's shown some real quality in his skill set, his ability to accelerate very, very quickly. Excellent bit of batting.
That was a needed boundary in the over 2, wasn't it? Just 2 runs in the first 4 balls up to that point. Can they go again, Zach Tribe? This will just be a single. Fielded out in the deep. So that ends the over then. Good one from Nandan Yadav. 7 runs from it. And with 2 overs to go, I must say that 300 mark of 33 runs from 12 balls is still far away. But 4 wickets down, Jersey. It's now just swing for it, isn't it? Swing for it territory.
Yeah, absolutely. 12 balls left. Can Jersey try and get up to that magic number of, I would probably say another 25 runs of 12.
Yeah, on the
Try and get up into the 290 mark.
This is going to be tight. Charlie Brennan's running to the danger end, and he's got past quickly. Good running from Jersey. I've got to say, mainly due to the man at the non-striker's end, who was quickly off his mark, turned with agility, and it's 50 up for Zach Tribe from 36 balls. A terrific middle-order knock.
Fantastic. Exactly what Team Jersey want and required from the batting unit, especially after the start the 2 openers have given them. 36 ball, 50. See if you can kick on a little bit more now.
This is high. And long on takes the catch. Ishan Pandey with the safe hands. And Zach Tribe, the ball after reaching 50, goes next ball. And that feels like it might have knocked 5-10 runs off the final total. 269 for 5.
Yeah, 50 and out. We're just giving him credit for the way he's managed to get himself in a really good position and his team. Unfortunately, the ball after was almost got under it again too early. Just didn't quite get it. Didn't get the depth. Got the height, didn't get the depth. A quality catch from Ishan Pandey out in the deep, making it look very, very comfortable. But overall, quality injection from Zach Tribe.
I might be throwing you a tricky question here, but you're a man who's up to the task. Why do you think we haven't seen? I feel like we've seen maybe one over the last 2 days of a 6 down the ground. Why do you think in white ball cricket it's such a common shot we see players thumping balls back over the bowler's head? As Karen Casey runs in, inside edge beats the keeper. That's going to help Jersey. They move to 273. And Samaroa, coming off a golden duck, so almost gets himself a king pair for the series. But it's a boundary, 273 for
5. Quality question. I'm not sure what the answer is to that. I mean, you can question whether the batters are getting the length with the pace, whether they're coming down, hitting straight ball sixes. I mean, we had some quality batting the other day, but a lot of it was more towards Kalkona over deep mid wicket.
Oh, slower ball, full toss. For a minute, it looked like it was going at head height, but the dip brought it down to a legal delivery.
Thought we almost had a Chris Reed repeat over it.
Anything could have happened as the ball was halfway down. For a minute, I thought it was going to hit the keeper on the full. But how good's this been? The last couple of overs, Nepal have really arrested back control of this innings for Jersey. And at 274 for 5, it's a miracle to get to the 300 mark now. Brennan on strike, though. 2 new batters. It's brilliant slower ball. Kaz, you've been asking for this for ages. Now, finally, the bowlers are using pace off deliveries. They're varying their pace. And guess what? It's been pretty successful.
Yeah, and there's a high success rate for the variation delivery. And these 2 bowlers have got some fantastic variation, very deceptive in how they bowl it. But why not bowl it often enough in the closing stages of the game, especially with 2 new batters on who are not accustomed to the pace of the wicket.
Mm.
And it's not an absolute roar of a wicket where you can hit through the line. There's definitely some purchase there for the bowlers.
Waited and crunched. Great shot from Charlie Brennan. He's adjusted to the pace off delivery. Waited and timed it perfectly with a big swing of the bat right off the middle. And it's now 2-7-8 for 5. Charlie Brennan building on his form from his half century on Monday. And Summer is also a batter that can use his power. There was 6 balls to go. Jersey staring down the potential of 300, but 22 from 6, not out of the question. They need a successful over. But it's the man who bowled a brilliant previous over, Nandan Yadav. Can he continue from it? Short. Summer doesn't quite get a hold of it. They're going to come back for 2. And now 280 is up for Jersey. We did say anything at under 275 that Jersey would be disappointed with. And they've now got to a total they can, I think, be pretty proud of.
Decent total, that. I still think they might, the next 5 balls, trying to get 10 runs if they can.
Can they get past 290?
I still think it's on.
Huge swing. And Binod behind the stumps was just waiting, wasn't he, to throw down the stumps. I think Charlie Brennan will just be thinking at the non-striker's end, I need to go on strike here. So with Nandan Yadav with ball in hand, or 4 dots in his last 8 balls. Mistimed into the covers. Charlie Brennan's going to take the strike. And that's run out. And Summeroa is going to have to trudge off in the final over. He goes for 7. And Charlie Brennan is looking towards the umpires and he's desperate to keep the strike. So out comes Benjamin Ward. 1 in the first game. And he's got a clear job to do. I think the lower order batters enjoy these kind of moments. It's first innings, not much to lose. They can come in and have a swing of the bat.
Yeah, free for all. 3 balls left. Try and get your team over as much as possible. I still think this is the right move. Charlie running through to trying to get strike. Left-hander hitting towards a shorter boundary, even though there's a breeze out there. But a man in form, so he's definitely got a chance to contribute towards the back end of these 3 balls and help the team over.
Nandan Yadav. Huge swing from Charlie Brennan, goes through him. Another dot ball. This is a brilliant end. We did think, didn't we, that when he was bowling the short ball ploy early doors, it didn't really feel like his thing. This is more up his alley.
Yeah, he finished off and recovered nicely. His last over was brilliant. He's come back into the game, especially after his first couple of overs that were quite expensive. With the wrong ploy, I think he's done really well to come back in, trying to finish off his 6 overs.
Charlie Brennan, he's gonna look for 2. He has to. He says no. Benjamin Ward will face the final delivery. Think he should have run back for the second there?
He would have been run out if he did. It was a strong throw from Wilson Jaw from the boundary. Throwing with the wind as well. And he's a big lad with a strong arm. Would have really struggled to have made that. Last ball then.
Benjamin Ward, the man. Nandan Yadav, his opponent. Can Ward, with his first ball, strike a blow? Pulled and missed. And it will just be a bye to end on what feels a finish to... Well, it really feels like a balanced end to me. Jersey were in great positions at point to push for that 300 mark, but Nepal they fought back. It's a great end to this first innings, which I think sets the tone for the rest of the day. And we could see a very, very tight finish a little bit later on today. The main point for me is at the halfway mark, 195 for 2. And now Jersey's at 282 for 6 at the end of the 50. Who's the happier side?
Towards the back end, definitely Nepal. For me, I think they've just taken that little bit of momentum, closed the game out well enough. At one point, they were looking for another probably 25, 30 runs, but credit to both sides. I think Jersey started off really, really well. Some fantastic individual scores, some really good, strong, competitive batting. But I just think Nepal have just shown their experience towards the back end. And I did say, and I've been saying it all along, the slower the deliveries, the varied the deliveries, the harder it becomes. And towards the back end, we saw a lot of that from the two fast bowlers that have come on. We've bowled in the block hole, we've taken pace off, and we've made it a little bit more difficult for the batting unit towards the back end. So credit to both teams. But overall, I think Jersey will be extremely happy, and Nepal would have been taking the momentum into the second innings.
So just to build on that, as the leaf blowers out to blow the dust away, on both accounts, what can Nepal learn going into their batting innings from what Jersey did well? And what do you think Jersey will learn from Nepal in how they should bowl?
I think two things quickly. Nepal just to bat time and bat 50 overs as long as possible. The runs will come. From Jersey's perspective, try and go to the cutters and the slow balls as quickly as possible.
Right, 283 to win then for Nepal in the second innings. We'll be back in about half an hour's time, maybe an hour, maybe 5 minutes. Let's say out that. But make sure to join us. It's going to be a thrilling end to this second one-dayer between Nepal and Jersey, as Nepal need 283 to win.